have a straightforward choice before you. You must choose either death or life.
He's not an orphan. He's got his mother.
It's getting harder and harder to say no.
Say nothing and I'll be your friend forever.
It's time for you to come back to us.
I'm so pleased seeing the old house at full strength again.
Downton Abbey on Masterpiece returns January 5th at 9/8 Central, only on PBS.
And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to race number 2 of Season 7 of the NNSCRA Oreo Truck Series. We are here live from Phoenix International Raceway as we head from east now to the west coast for some good old speedway racing, as this is a track that has been known through the Anno 2003 universe as Tweenix Raceway, dubbed that based on a little slip up by Charles Jackson, but the Tweenix racing cars always consider this their particular home track, and we'll see if Tweenix Racing will be able to get something going here this race weekend, but we still got to do the Truck Series race before we find out how Tweenix Racing does in Mobile and Snickers Cup Series competition. This is the Downton Abbey 200 here at Phoenix International Raceway, and only a remote few of you will probably know what Downton Abbey even is. It's a TV series that's now headed into its 4th season. It's been airing on BBC, and now it's currently airing on the PBS network on Sunday evenings at 9. It's one of my favorite TV series. I love it. I've been following it since Season 1 and really enjoy it. And so it's going to be sponsoring a race here today at Phoenix International Raceway. So, on the pole position for this race is going to be William Duncan in the 21. Duncan actually finished 14th last week at Daytona, so good starting position for this guy. He may be able to move himself inside the top 10 very easily with a good finish here today. Then alongside of him is going to be the 24 machine, and that is Zach Campbell. Zach Campbell last week finished 6th place at Daytona, so another guy with a good run at Daytona, qualifying well here today for this race at Phoenix. Cody Lamas can be added to that as well, as he'll roll off from 3rd. He finished 12th last week at Daytona. And then the next guy who really needs a good run now, he's the first one of them, Harrison Langford. Finished 39th last week at Daytona. Good qualifying spot inside the top 10. A good run could move him up as high as inside the top 15 in points here early on in the season. If you get a win, if you get a really good top 5 finish after a bad finish at Daytona, it's amazing how many spots you can pick up in just 1 week. Of course, when it gets later on in the season, then you really got to hustle and get yourself back up through the point stands as quickly as possible. But this is the time, if you're going to rebound from the mistakes you make early on, you got to make them early on here in the season, because the earlier on you make it in the season, the more spots you'll pick up in the point standings with them all clumped together at this particular moment. The points coming into this race are currently as follows. Tanner Sullivan, our winner last week from Daytona, he comes in with a 6-point advantage over Kyle Thomas due to the fact that Tanner Sullivan got 5 extra bonus points for his win. Jacob Lawler, Sean Galligan, Kyle Matthews, Zach Campbell, Joshua Michaels, Prudence Littlejohn, Jimmy Bly, and James McLeod. Those are the drivers that finished in the top 10 in last week's race at Daytona. They come in the top 10 in points here today. You can actually see Tanner Sullivan's machine, that neon green car back there, and that is in, I think that is row 10, so I think he's starting off from 20th place. We'll find all that out though when we get our starting grid, which we are moments away from seeing. So 20-lap event ready to be run here today. It's time to get these trucks rolling off and have them complete a couple pace laps, and while they do that, we're going to show you the starting lineup for today's race here at Phoenix International Raceway. The Downton Abbey 200 moments away from being run, and here is your 42 truck starting grid. Seems fitting, being the Downton 200, we've got to have the Downton Abbey theme music in the background, but row 1's going to hold William Duncan and Zach Campbell, as I said. Cody Lamas and Harrison Langford in row number 2. I basically went through where they sit currently in the standings. Then we'll move over here to row number 3. Jamie DeFalu, I actually found out how to pronounce his name, so I'm pretty happy about that. DeFalu actually finished last week at Daytona in dead last, so he really needs something here today. And alongside of him, Matthew Daly, who did not finish all that much better, I don't think. Where did Daly finish? He ended up finishing in 38th place. Comes in 38th in the point standings. He'll roll off from the outside of row 3. Kyle Matthews, great run for him last week, ended up finishing 5th. He's 5th in points, and he'll roll off from 7th place, rather. And alongside him, Zach Rogers in the 15. Rogers is 26th in the standings coming into today's race. Then we move over to row number 5. Haruhi Tashimi will be rolling off from the 9th position. Tashimi, in her first Truck Series start last week, finished in 18th place, and alongside of her, starting off in 10th, Gene Sanford had a fairly good run last week, finishing in 11th place. Moving over to row number 6, James McLeod, 10th in the point standings, wants to keep himself inside the top 10. He'll roll off from the inside of row 6, and alongside of him, Kyle Corbett in the 17. Corbett finished 19th last week at Daytona. Then in row number 7, that's going to be Bob Jones, who has really been doing pretty well in the Snickers Cup Series competition. Finished runner-up last week in the Daytona 500. He's going to roll off from 13th place. Bob Jones trying to get some luck going on here in the Truck Series. He's 31st in the point standings, and alongside of him, Danny Wells in the 29, who finished 16th last week at Daytona. Then in row number 8, Charles Jackson lines up in 15th position. Jackson ended up finishing 24th last week, and alongside of him, Jake Rogers, who had a pretty tough Daytona, finished 22nd place. That's where he is in the standings. In row number 9 is going to be rookie Chris Washer. Washer had a fairly good finish last week, as I recall. Oh, no, he didn't. I'm sorry. That was another event. But he finished 34th in the Truck Series race at Daytona. And alongside of him is going to be Deanna Shelton in the 94. Shelton ended up finishing 13th last week at Daytona International Speedway. In row 10, Isaac Canepa, the new driver of the 14, due to Austin Ogo. At this point, not yet commenting on the roll call video that I put out 2 weeks ago. So Isaac Canepa, due to a sign-up thing on Twitter for the 14 machine, will be making his Truck Series debut on the inside of row number 10. Canepa making his first career Truck Series start here today. Alongside of him, Tanner Sullivan, our winner from Daytona last week, and the guy who comes in as the current points leader. In row 11, 21st place will be Sean Galligan, the Blue Deuce. Galligan 4th in the points after a solid top 5 run last week. And alongside of him will be Austin LaPlante. LaPlante ended up finishing fairly poorly, I believe. Let me see where he actually finished last week at Daytona. I'm trying to look here through the point stands, and I'm not seeing LaPlante's name. I apologize for this, folks. LaPlante, yeah, he finished 41st. Next to last week at Daytona, so looking for a good run here today as he'll roll off from mid-pack. Row 12 is going to hold rookie Zachary Robinson. Robinson was 27th last week at Daytona, and alongside of him, Alex DeMarco, who had a good qualifying spot at Daytona last week and was able to get a nice solid 15th place finish in that event. Then we move over to row number 13, Dylan Young, 25th on the starting grid. Dylan Young ended up having a bit of hard luck last week at Daytona. Still managed to salvage 20th place, and alongside of him is going to be rookie Luis Hernandez, who finished 36th last week, did not end up finishing the Daytona event. In 27th place, that is going to be the defending champ, Trent Dunham. Dunham ended up getting involved in a wreck at Daytona and ends up coming in 33rd in the point stands, and alongside of him will be Jerome Assetti. Assetti in the 75 ended up finishing last week in 35th place. He's looking for some redemption here today as well. Jacob Lawler finished in 3rd place last week, just almost made it a Joe Gibbs Racing 1-2 finish, but he is 3rd in the point stands, rolling off from 29th, and alongside of him on the outside of row 15 is his teammate out of Joe Gibbs Racing, Prudence Littlejohn, who comes in 8th in the point standings. So Joe Gibbs Racing looking pretty doggone good coming into this race. Chris Dollerton, the 83, he comes in 31st on the starting grid. Dollerton had a pretty tough weekend at Daytona last week, finished 21st, and alongside of him, Dylan Poteet, 32nd on the starting grid, and Dylan Poteet comes in 28th in the current Truck Series standings. Jake Cole will be on the inside of row 17. Jake Cole ended up finishing 25th last week at Daytona, and Joshua Michaels inside the top 10 in points. He ended up finishing 7th last week. He'll roll off from 34th place. The second place driver in points, Kyle Thomas, starting way at the back here. Runner-up to Tanner Sullivan last week, starting all the way back on the inside of row 18 alongside of rookie Andreas Allen. Andreas Allen actually finished poorly at Daytona, finished 32nd last week, looking to rebound here this week. Leia Walker going to line up on the inside of row number 19 in the 37th position. Leia Walker did not have a good Daytona race weekend either, 40th place for her, and alongside of her is going to be Eric Burton in the 54. Burton ended up finishing mid-pack, as I recall. Let's see, he finished in 29th place last week at Daytona. That's where he comes in the point standings. Jimmy Bly, I believe, is actually the furthest starting back driver inside the top 10 in points coming into this race. He'll start all the way back from 39th place. He comes in 9th in the point standings, and alongside of him, James Silverfox, who's still trying to get his Truck Series program going here. He ended up finishing very poorly in 37th last week at Daytona. He'll roll off from the outside of row 20, and then completing the final row, Jackie Tang. Second straight week, he's had a very poor qualifying result, but he'll roll off from 41st place. Tang comes into this race 30th in the points, and alongside of him, the driver who went 15 feet into the air at Daytona. Back here, he's okay, and he's ready to race. That's Levi McIntyre, another rookie, and McIntyre, obviously after that flip DNF'd, and McIntyre comes into this race currently sitting in the, can't even find it here, 23rd place in the point standings. And that's your starting lineup for today's Downton Abbey 200 here at Phoenix International Raceway. Here we go, getting ready to put this thing under the green flags. William Duncan, Zach Campbell, Cody Lamas, Harrison Langford. That's going to be the top 4. This is a track where normally when you qualify well, you finish well, because there's not a whole lot of opportunity to pass, but we'll see if maybe pit stops will come into play. Green flag is out here, 20 laps before we crown ourselves a winner. William Duncan trying to get the advantage with that low line. That's going to be the passing line here today. We've also seen some drivers be able to get the runoff of 2 on the high side, but turn 4 is definitely going to be the trouble spot. A lot of drivers try and mash the throttle, get off the corner quickly, and they end up sliding up off the corner and getting the outside retaining wall. Especially in a 3-wide situation, that could be a problem. The caution is already out. Whoa! Jamie DeFelu got a good run there, but he's going to have to settle for 3rd place here because the caution is waving, and William Duncan was the leader at the line. And that was not for an incident in turn number 4 either, so the first caution, I don't even know where it actually took place. Let's see who was involved in it. Oh, Zach Rogers in the 15's involved. Zach Rogers, 26th in the point standings coming into today's race. Oh, Joshua Michaels was involved. Michaels is 7th in the point standings. Had a solid top 10 run last week at Daytona. He's involved. Oh, and Kyle Matthews involved as well. I think he actually started inside the top 10, and he actually comes into this race too. 5th in the point standings and 2nd in rookie points. That was not what he needed to have happen. Zach Rogers got to pull him right behind him. Looks like maybe Kyle Matthews and Zach Rogers may have gotten together. And both of them had good qualifying runs today. And they've gotten involved in whatever this first caution was. So William Duncan leads under the yellow. Looks like nobody's coming down to make pit stops under this caution flag. So let's jump back now. Take a look at a replay of what just happened. Well, here's a look at what happened. And, oh boy, wow, Kyle Matthews going to slide off that corner. This is going into turn 1 and coming out of turn 2. Zach Rogers gets moved way up there into that groove. And the 27 of Gene Sanford may actually try and make it 4 wide here, and there's no room for that at Phoenix. Oh, a little tap in the right, or in the left rear for Kyle Matthews, courtesy of Gene Sanford, turns him up into Zach Rogers. And then the 62 is going to barrel roll, side over side, end over end. The 62 flipping here at Phoenix. We don't see that very often at this kind of track. Whoa, Prudence Littlejohn just avoids, and wow! Joshua Michaels hits the flipping 62, and then Kyle Matthews is caught in the catch fence. Never before have I actually seen a car get caught in the catch fence here at Phoenix, let alone a truck, and literally just hanging there is the 62 machine. Last week we had Levi McIntyre visit 15 feet of Daytona International Speedway after a huge hit and flip. And here 1 week later, Kyle Matthews goes up in the air and gets caught in the catch fence on the back straightaway. What's going on here? Good heavens. And the tough thing is for Kyle Matthews and Joshua Michaels, both of those drivers came in top 10 in the point standings, 5th and 7th. And the both of them involved here with heavy-duty contact, and their day may be over, and if so, that's really going to hurt them in the point standings because, as I said here, early on in the season, it's a big opportunity for a good finish to move up in the standings, but also if you DNF early in one of these early events, you really drop down through the standings like a stone as well. So go on board with Joshua Michaels, see just exactly what he saw in this wreck. Riding on board here with Joshua Michaels, let's see what he saw. The incident is taking place in turn 2 right now. Let's see what he sees here on the back straightaway. Oh, good Lord. Oh, my goodness. That was windshield upside down windshield, I think. Good grief. And I think that just showed us, I think Prudence Littlejohn, who won this event last year in her rookie season, I think she may have gotten a slight piece of this as well. And now on board with Kyle Matthews in the 62. Take a look at what he saw. Here comes the tap from Gene Sanford. Oh, and there's the hit from Michaels. And 62 immediately comes to rest in the catch fence here on the back straightaway. Man, oh man, oh man. This is not your typical Phoenix race, apparently. So we'll head back to green flag racing now. William Duncan ready to put us back under the green flag here. We'll get the green flag on lap 6 of 20. Duncan's the leader. Zach Campbell lines up second. Jamie DeFelu runs in third. Fourth place is Cody Lamas. Harrison Langford runs fifth. That's Matthew Daly, Haruhi Tashimi, Jace McLeod, Bob Jones, and Gene Sanford. That is the top 10. 3 drivers are back behind the wall. They're the 3 that we saw get involved in that incident. Everybody else is going to be taking this green flag on our first restart. Those 3 drivers out of the race are Kyle Matthews, Joshua Michaels, and Zach Rogers. So a tough break for those 3, especially Campbell and Joshua Michaels. As William Duncan got himself a good jump there. He's got it by himself about maybe 2, maybe even 3 car lengths now in hand over Zach Campbell. This is a good battle actually shaping up for second place. Let's jump back to that. Jamie DeFelu and Cody Lamas all over the back bumper of the DuPont Chevrolet Silverado. Whoa, Cody! Yikes! Nearly getting into the left rear of Jamie. Nearly turned that 78 around, and obviously Jamie DeFelu does not want to have to afford another DNF here today. Finished dead last week at Daytona, and is trying to get something here today for a good finish, maybe even a win, to pick up the pace and move himself up through the point standings after his season got off to a rather rocky start. And whoa, Campbell nearly got the wall off that corner, but looks like DeFelu led that time, or at least got second place that time, I should say. He got 24 at the line, I should say. And the caution flag is out again. Caution flag waves again. Duncan's undoubtedly going to be the leader. Let's watch this battle for a second here between the 78 and the 24. DeFelu going to get the nice run off of turn number 4. Can Campbell get the run off the high side? Nope, instead he gets the wall, and that's going to give second place over to the rookie of the 78. So the caution flag is waving for the second time today. And it looks like it could be Leia Walker, the reason that this caution is out. Leia finished 40th last week at Daytona, and there's some skid marks there on the front straightaway. It might have been a spin on the front straightaway. Someone may have gotten the wall come down to traffic or something, but looks like it could have been the 99 that brings out this second caution of the day. So let's jump back, take a look at a replay of what happened to Leia Walker and the 99 Aflac Ford F-Series. Well, here's a look at it. Coming out of turn number 4 here, it's 3 wide near the rear of the field between rookie Jackie Tang, last year's winner Prudence Littlejohn, and Leia Walker. And let's see where contact's going to come. Right there. Littlejohn gets into the left rear of the 99 machine, turns Leia down to Jackie Tang. And I don't know if Leia Walker got the wall off that corner, and that's how Littlejohn got into her. But the problem for Littlejohn was Littlejohn couldn't back out of the throttle anymore because James Silverfox was right on her back bumper. But incredible as it may seem here, and I can't believe I'm saying these words at Phoenix, we had a solo truck spin. That never happens here at Phoenix. We've had a lot of things happen here today that never happen. This has not been your usual Phoenix race. And it just gets stranger and stranger here. This is not what we're used to seeing. We're used to a wreck fest here at Phoenix. And we've actually had a car go up into the catch fence. We actually went under a little bit of a green flag run, which never seems to happen at Phoenix. And then we have a solo truck spin here in the front straightaway. What's going on here? This is not our usual kind of race, and quite honestly, I'm kind of digging it. So, the caution flag is out here for the second time today. Let's head back now for the restart, as we should be past the halfway to go mark. Getting ready to go back under the green flag. Green flag will come out on lap 13 of 20, giving us a total of 8 laps to go here today. William Duncan currently the leader. Jamie DeFelu up there in second now with Zach Campbell in third. Cody Lamas runs in fourth. Gene Sanford's been the truck on the move. She's now up inside the top 5 in 5th place. 6th place is Harrison Langford. Then you got Matthew Daly in 7th. 8th, Haruhi Tashimi. James McLeod in 9th. And Bob Jones runs in 10th. Then you got Danny Wells. He's in 11th. 12th is Deanna Shelton. Kyle Corbett runs in 13th. Austin LaPlante 14th. 15th, Isaac Canepa making his Truck Series debut. Great run for him so far today. Then you got Jake Rogers in 16th. 17th, Zachary Robinson. Alex DeMarco 18th. 19th, Chris Washer. And the points leader, and last week's winner, Tanner Sullivan, runs in the 20th position. When we go back to green, we should check out and see where a couple other drivers inside the top 10 in points coming to this race are currently running. As the green flag comes back out here, we know where Tanner Sullivan's running now. We know where Zach Campbell is currently running, and where James McLeod is currently running. But how about a couple other drivers? As Zach Campbell's going underneath Jamie DeFelu, that is for 2nd place. But how about the runner-up driver in point standings, Kyle Thomas? Here he is, back in the 30th position. That's where he restarted, not too far up ahead. That's the Jacob Lawler machine. And there's Sean Galligan. They're in, I think, 27th and 28th, respectively. And they come into this race. Whoa, look out! Caution! Oh, boy, there they go. There's your typical Phoenix. Trent Dunham was just around. Dunham has spun. Levi McIntyre got a piece of this. Prudence Littlejohn was involved in her 3rd wreck of the day. And wait a minute. We got a battle for the lead here. Campbell to the inside of William Duncan. And he cleared him off of 4. Duncan is now going to lose the lead for the first time today. Zach Campbell's the new leader. Jake Cole's involved in this incident. Dunham also involved. And the caution flag is waving for the 3rd time today. And a new leader in Zach Campbell. Let's jump back, take a look at a replay of what happened here. But a move by Zach Campbell just got him the lead with about 5 laps to go. Well, taking a little look at what happened here, there it is. Coming off of 4, Zachary Robinson and Alex DeMarco getting together. They come down to Tanner Sullivan. Oh, and then the 13 tried to come back up. I don't know why he did that. He was already damaged. Comes up off the nose of Tanner, and there you see Trent Dunham. He's going to get spun off the nose of Jake Cole. Oh, Jacob Lawler, how he got through that, I have no idea. Holy cow. Man, that was a close call for the 09 machine. And here's Trent back here. Oh, and then he's going to get a hit from Prudence Littlejohn, who's been involved in just about every wreck here. And there's Levi McIntyre. Now, how did McIntyre get involved? McIntyre, who took the flip at Daytona. Yeah, what happened here was everybody else knew what was going on, but everybody here at the rear of the field really didn't slow up. And it was Prudence Littlejohn who just nailed the back of the 22. Everybody up ahead, behind the 13, the 18, they all knew what was going on. They were blowing up. Everybody else apparently did not have any idea and just plowed right into it. And so there's some damage now to the defending champ, Trent Dunham, last year's winner, Prudence Littlejohn, and Levi McIntyre. And McIntyre and Dunham really didn't need this. They both came in running 23rd and 33rd in the point standings. Prudence Littlejohn, 8th in points involved in this. This is going to hurt her as well in the point standings. And with only a few laps to go here, I think we will get back to green, but there's not much time for them to be able to make up ground now. So this wreck really did not pay out dividends for those that were involved. And there's Jake Cole in the apron there too. Another driver involved there that was running mid-pack in the standings, and he's got a tough break here today as well. So the caution flag waves for what could be the final time today. I don't know how many laps are going to be left when we go back to green. We're going to find out now in just a moment. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing for what's going to be a green-white checker to finish off today's race. And you're looking at, for the first time, the first different leader to be leading today's event. It's been a domination race by William Duncan, but just before that caution came out, coming out of 4, Zach Campbell was able to clear the Motorcraft Ford, and he is going to be the leader here with 2 to go. William Duncan lines up 2nd. Jeremy DeFelu is in 3rd. 4th place is going to be Gene Samfresh. He's really been on the move, and Harrison Langford will line up in 5th. 6th is Cody Lamas. Matthew Daly up here in 7th. Great run for him. Same for Deanna Shelton in 8th. 9th, Bob Jones. And James McLeod's going to complete the top 10 as we get ready to go back to green flag racing for what I pretty much think is going to be the final time today. And if the caution comes out at any point during this green-white checker segment, the race will be over at the line. Now, Zach Campbell, on a majority of the restarts, has been either 2nd or 3rd. He's not been the leader. Is he going to be able to meet up to the challenge and hold off William Duncan, who for the first time today is restarting in 2nd? Green flag is out, and already Campbell got himself a good jump. First car going to go to work is Gene Sanford going underneath the rookie, Jamie DeFelu. I couldn't think of the first name. And that's a battle for third. William Duncan, though, does not seem to be closing up the gap between himself and Zach Campbell. Could that move Campbell had made just before the caution flag be the thing that's going to get him the win here today? Coming out of turn 4, white flag in the air, and Gene Sanford once more. She's coming on the back bumper of William Duncan for second. Something's really up with the Sanfords, I'll tell you. Gene Sanford had an 11th place finish last week at Daytona, looking to finish second today, and her brother Charles Sanford last week won the Daytona 500. But coming through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, battles on for second, which means Zach Campbell is home free as long as he doesn't hit the wall. Coming out of this corner, and apparently the caution flag has come out, but it doesn't really matter. Coming to the checkered flag, Zach Campbell picks up the win here, becomes the second straight rookie to win in the Oreo Truck Series here in Season 7. Tanner Sullivan picked up his first win of his career in the Truck Series last week at Daytona. Zach Campbell follows it up this week with the win at Phoenix. And what a win it was. Definitely made the right move at the right time, and it wasn't even on the final lap. And Zach Campbell, who finished 6th last week at Daytona, a very nice follow-up run with a win here today. And we will, as always, take a look at our official top 10 results. Campbell with the win. Gene Sanford, 11th last week, 2nd this week. She's going to have a good spot in the top 10 in points. William Duncan was 14th last week. He got 3rd, even though he dominated most of this race. A tough break for him, but still a good finish. Jeremy DeFelu, what a run for this guy. Well-needed run. Dead last in points coming into this race. He's going to leave with the top 5. Harrison Langford, 39th in points. He was way down there. He'll have a good run today in 5th. Cody Lamas was 6th. Deanna Shelton, 7th. 8th, Matthew Dowley. Austin LaPlante ended up cracking the top 10 late. He got into 9th, and in 10th place rather was the 11 of Bob Jones. Let's see, we're officially Tanner Sullivan finished this race 20th place for the guy who came in as the points leader, but I have a feeling Zach Campbell with a 6th and 1st place finish for his first 2 starts in the Truck Series may have just taken away the points lead from last week's winner Tanner Sullivan. So we're going to see what the point shuffle is going to be after today's race. A lot of drivers who came in running well finished well. A lot of drivers who came in running very poorly finished well. And then the vice versa. A lot of drivers who came in running poorly finished very poorly, and those that were up inside the top 10, there were quite a few, including Kyle Matthews and Joshua Michaels and Prudence Littlejohn, who all had problems during the course of the day. So the points are definitely going to be shook up, and we're going to be taking a look at them in a moment. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race from Tweenix. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. Here comes your official finishing results. Overall point stands and rookie points heading into next week at Las Vegas. We still got a mobile and Snickers Cup Series race on your way here from Phoenix International Raceway. As you've been watching, I'm Dr. NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.